All right. Let's see. I don't know why I'm not. Oh crap! Really? Are you kidding? My webcam is not exactly working. It seems. You know what? It's fine. We're gonna roll with it. Y'all know what I look like. And I'm kind of a hot mess right now. So maybe it's best that the webcam be off. Um, I don't. You know, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just checking my features. All right. So I, being a person with very complex trauma, am working on processing and healing a lot right now and trying to do what's good for my mental health. And it's very difficult for me at the moment. And so, right now, what I'm doing is I'm just going to chat. And people can come in and listen. And it's going to be a kind of funny story. Well, it's going to be lighthearted, all right? So, we are going to talk about the time I walked 6 miles in Rhode Island. Oh my god, this is a really funny story, actually. Um, why don't I just get into it? So, I'm a person who really can't deal with understimulation. And when I get curious about things, I try to pursue them. And so, when I started at the University of Rhode Island, um, I had an interest in growing trees and house plants for my moths, basically. Wow, I am like having a good time, an easy time being concise right now. But anyway, oh fuck. Oh my god, this is very cathartic. I miss my dog. Anyway, I need constant stimulation, as people who know me are aware. And so, one of the things that I wanted to do was grow some of the host plant species from my lepidopterans, um, like my what's it called? Um, ugh, I'm liking. Anyway, I was collecting the seeds of these trees and shrubs and various things. You know, I had sweet gum and walnut, and I tried a couple different kinds of hickory at one point. Um, there was what's it called? Crap, what am I doing? Um, I think I was doing some pine species and sassafras and spice bush and some other stuff, right? And um, so I had gone to find a source of vermiculite and other horticultural materials for these seeds, right? So I'm collecting the seeds, getting them out of the seed pods and the fruits and yada yada, and they need to be fucking stratified. So the seed has this inbuilt mechanism, my friends. Inside of the seed, there's a you know, give me a second. Oh my god, I am visible. Fuck. You know what? Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't aware. High visible. All right. I just shared. Yeah. Um. Just give me a second, guys. All right. Anyways. Um. So it's funny, kind of. So I annoyed the living shit out of my roommate, right? And I like to interact with different species, organisms, right? That's my thing. And so I wanted to germinate seeds of various plants, which I always do. It's always a thing. Like, there hasn't been a year since I've been, I don't know, like 11 that I haven't had a batch of seeds go through the fucking refrigerator. Okay. Let's be honest. This is me we're talking about. Holy fuck, people. All right, anyway. Um, just a minute. Yes. Um, all right, I need to, oh, here. Perfect. All right. All right, let's see. Nope, that's fine. Okay, perfect. All right. All right. All right, perfect. I need. No, 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 don't do that, please. I am going to be right back. I just need to get something for my nose. Oh, fuck. I know. All right, we're having a good self care night, though. All right, be right back. No. I. All right, I'm back. Oh my god. Oh, fuck. Okay, there we go. All right, anyway. So, as a highly traumatized autistic individual, I need to keep myself relatively distracted, all right? You don't understand the importance of being distracted from some of the things that are so detrimental to my sense of self. And I don't even know anymore. I was just thinking about, like, there have just been. Anyway, I will assure you all, this is not a major trauma dump. This is a lighthearted story, more or less a blooper in my life. My experience living in Rhode Island was really not all that traumatic at all. There really wasn't anything that traumatic happening when I was living in Rhode Island, to be quite honest. There's really not much that stands out. I mean, a couple of roommate issues is about it. Roommate and landlord issues. And that's just par for the course. That's just standard fair life shit, When I moved out to Colorado, I had the same fucking problem. Okay. And, whatever. You roll with the punches sometimes. And, right now, it's just been a little bit harder than normal to deal with everything. And, that's part of my motivation for getting the fuck out of here. But, oh, fuck, I'm just like, whatever. So, I have tried to germinate the seeds and otherwise propagate the host plants of most of the Lepidoptera species I've reared, okay? Examples of things like, obviously Galeria is not, that Galeria don't feed on plants. They parasitize bee nests, so that would not qualify. But aside from that, most of my Lepidopterans that I've really become quite attached to have been things that feed on angiosperms. Angiosperm tissues, generally in the external folivore feeding guild, but I should just rename this live to, like, we should just have a species that safety podcast. Excuse me. God. All right. Fuck it, we're doing that. All right. Let me just see. All right, friends. So let's rebrand my podcast. We'll do that. But back to the story. Let me think overnight and whatever. So, University of Rhode Island. I would. My nostrils. Fucking fuck. I'm okay. I love all of you. And I'm saying this, my guess, it's midnight, almost 1 a.m. here. I think that, like, it's way too early in the morning for anybody else to be awake right now, and that's why there really isn't anybody watching. I'm anticipating at least a few of you guys will watch this in the future, like, sometime down the road. I know I have some people who, like, especially people when I move, they'll probably want to watch this because they'll miss me, but that's okay. This is more of like a, if you ever get sad, just watch this. I don't know. Just whatever. It is what it is. I don't give two fucks. We're just having some fun. It's all happy vibes, okay, friends? Now, something that you need to understand, all right? Fundamentally, is I, for the most part, know that it is not practical necessarily to propagate the tree species that most of the lepidopterans I interact with. You know, the tiger moth species are one of the exceptions. I regularly rear tiger moths, particularly the Spilosoma species. I love me some Spilosoma. Let me tell you, my friends. But when I lived in Rhode Island, I'd have a couple of bins of some kind of fucking arctine moth just laying around, eating common evening primrose because they like to eat fucking common evening primrose, and it's all over the fucking place. Humans can eat common evening primrose, okay? I have a funny story about that to tell at another date, but you know. You know, I'm going to try and tone down some of my obnoxiousness in this because I want this to be a little bit more wholesome than obnoxious. I know I'm saying this as if I'm holding like a temperature probe, you know, just haphazardly, and I apologize for that. But anyway, your girl here really fucking likes to have a what's it called? Oh, I just turned on this thing, you know. You know, being autistic is fun. I tell you much. So anyway, one of the things I've come to learn is that some plant species, when you stratify them, so here's how this works. So basically, you know, this is like a story within a story within a story. So we're gonna get somewhere, I promise. But basically, the spine of the story is like, or the trunk of the, think of the story as like a tree. And the trunk of the story is the story arc of, okay, yes, the story arc. God damn it, my nose. Fucking fuck. The story arc of this is I walked 6 miles from the University of Rhode Island to a store that ended up being closed, right? So the store was closed permanently. But we're gonna get there. Okay, it was like an Agway store or some shit like that in like West Greenwich, Rhode Island or something. We're gonna get there, I promise. So anyways. Give me 1 second. What the actual fuck? I am an extremely vulgar individual, which is funny because I'm pretty friendly, I think. Like, I'm just generally friendly, even though I have a really, really bad mouth. Okay? But that's okay, you know? Yeah, I don't want to be around people who can't tolerate the way I speak. I need to be able to swear, okay? I'm not comfortable around people who can't tolerate me swearing. God fucking damn it. Ugh. Swearing is so fucking cathartic. You don't fucking understand. Okay, my love is boom. Okay, so my friendly everyone's Um, so, while most species of moth that I play around with on the regular, blah, 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 feed on slow growing, very large tree species that if I were to successfully generate the seeds of, which isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do in the first fucking place, right? Um, Now I'm very disorganized, so this may not go anywhere, but that's okay. Oh fuck, I'm itchy. Oh. Anyway, folks. What happened was, I wanted to give me a sec. I just need to take another hit off of a bong. God. I'm not quite ready to come down yet, my friends. And you know, I have been so fucking stressed about my freaking everything. Whatever. What the fuck ever. Now, that being said, personally, I see a difference between, hey, I expect a sweet gum tree to sprout out of this seed in 3 weeks and be ready for my Luna moths tomorrow. And okay, let me have a couple of little youngsters that, like, if I ever settle down somewhere or when I do and yada yada, I just don't know. But once something like that happens, I can really ensure that I have that species. So periodically I will collect, the seeds of a slow growing tree like Orcas, and I have Liriodendron and Caria and things like that, right? And I will kind of grow them and I'll plant them outside eventually and they'll be around me. And then if I move, I move. And if I don't, they're still there for me. There's there's a walnut tree at the University of Rhode Island, the East Farm, that I really adore. It's the one right outside the rear room. And I haven't seen it in a while. I really miss that particular plant, actually. But it's okay. I just think plants are interesting. I have a lot of plants right now. Let me just find out where my the hell did the fucking lighter go? God damn it! People. Oh fucking fuck! I have a very bad mouth. Well, that's okay. So anyway, I was trying to get the seeds of various things stratified. And so the way that works, give me just a minute. I'm really annoying. Oh, got it. Okay. Is the seed needs to be convinced that winter is over with. So it has these chemicals inside of the embryo. Fuck. Okay, there we go. It has these chemicals inside the embryo, right? And water gets into the fucking seed and starts reacting with those chemicals. And those reactions occur at a rate that's inverse to the temperature. So the colder it gets, the more quickly those chemicals break down. Those chemicals happen to be chemicals that inhibit the plant from germinating. So that what happens is, hey, the chemicals that are inhibiting germination are fucking destroyed. And then when the temperature permits, metabolism can resume and the germination can occur. That's how that works. Ta-da, it's beautiful. It works amazingly, except climate change is fucking with that, and we will get into that at a certain point. But it's nothing evolution can't fix. Give me a second. All right. Anyways, Jesus, that bong tastes good. I ran it through the dishwasher 2 days ago. Oh fuck, that was awesome. It tastes amazing. This hits real smooth. I'm liking it. Anyway, what was it? Yeah. So one of the things that happens is you use different substrates for the seeds to be sitting in. Most species you can get away with moist paper towels. You just have a layer of the moist paper towel, put the seeds on it, you put another layer of moist paper towel, stack them, kind of like lasagna, and you put it in a Ziploc baggie or a rigid container. It's up to you. As long as the paper towels don't fully dry out and you have a little bit of oxygen trapped in the container, it doesn't fucking matter. You know, some people prefer rigid containers, some people prefer baggies. In my experience, a baggie with a sufficient amount of air is just as protective as any rigid container, and it's just a slight bit more flexible. You want to kind of inflate it just so much where, how like the best fucking packing bubble things they sell aren't completely stiff, hard, and direct. They have a slight bit of give because they're not fully fucking inflated. It's the best thing to use. Yeah, it's like that, okay? I fucking love it. It's ideal. That's how I ship plants generally as well. And it works. Okay? So, it's just pressure mechanics. That's what it relies on. All right? A pressurized box with, a whole bunch of stuff in it, if it's properly pressurized, it can withstand all sorts of jolting, all sorts of flipping, and all sorts of other shit. Okay? Now, there is a risk, of course, of explosion if sufficient force is applied to something at such pressure. Now, I'm not a physicist, okay? So, fuck. My nose is running, but that's okay. I'm not a physicist, right? And as somebody who's not a physicist, a biologist, yes. Oh yeah. Anyway, so being the kind of nutty, kind of angsty left wing atheist energy autistic person that I am, just a wonderful extension of the universe that I am. I like to just do things my own way sometimes, especially when it's low stakes. So, when I tell this story, it's not so much like, oh my god, I wasted an entire day and, I spent money on a bus ticket and this, it doesn't matter to me. It's fine. It's whatever. It was a fun time. It was a silly experience. There were no long term consequences of it. Now, in the short term, it was quite jarring. It wasn't so life threatening to be traumatic. Okay. Don't get me wrong. Nothing awful was going to happen. The, roadways were pretty safe, even though I was walking. And it was broad daylight and that, and I was properly clothed, properly hydrated, more or less. We'll get into that, I promise. And so one of the things Yes, my people. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why is everything wet? Oh, it's just cold. So I like exercise. And it's not from a place of disorder, I promise. I don't over exercise. I don't obsess about exercising. I don't really concern myself too much with, you know, oh my god, how many calories am I burning off? I'll honor my body by replenishing those calories from exercise. It's sort of a thing I have with myself. All right, I promise you. There's nothing that I do exercise wise with the intention of really any kind of weight loss or maybe muscle mass gain to some extent. Because one of the things, and I'm glad it happened, you know what? I don't feel like talking about that right now. I'm sorry. I can't get into that. I just don't want to. It's too obnoxious for me right now. I just don't. I won't. Anyway, yeah, I will. There are times where I don't feel like being vulnerable in certain ways, and I just need to honor that. I think that I'm finding that the more I do that, the better I'm gonna become. I just took a Facebook break from one person. I'm not saying to. I need a Facebook break from a certain person. I am tempted to outright block this person. However, I will just take a break for now. Oh, fuck. There we go. So anyway. Goddamn, so much has happened. Oh my god. Anyways, people. Fuck. So, I planned one Saturday. Oh, this is great. You're gonna love this story. Alright? So, oh fucking fuck. My dog had died right before, not Riley. Riley's my current dog. My first dog, Henry, was like my favorite thing in the world. Died a couple weeks before I started college, right? And that personally, for me, going to college right after that was not a good idea, but whatever. It caused a lot of problems for me. I don't want to elaborate too much right now, but one of the things that I tried to actively do was exercise. Now, I love aimlessly wandering and hiking and shit like that. What I don't love is going to the fucking gym, right? I'm sorry, I can't do that. That's not me. I can't go to a fucking gym. It doesn't work in my brain. So I don't go to the gym, okay? I seldom do conventional exercises, but it doesn't mean I don't technically exercise. I find that, exercise is really good for my mental regulation. Like I might go out for a walk later. I don't know. But like my mental health really benefits from exercise. I might go do that. Let me finish the story, alright? I want to finish the story. Now, what I will say is that the University of Rhode Island was like one of the most comfortable places for me to aimlessly wander, no matter what time of the day or night it was. It's relatively safe, all right, given the fact that it's a decent sized college campus. Obviously, you want to avoid the freshman dorms in the middle of the night and maybe Greek life, but other than that, campus was very safe. You know, the published crime reports were always impressive in that there was just not that much shit going on. Obviously there were people being rowdy and partying and shit like that, but like very few people got hurt. Now, I know of people who have been seriously hurt at the University of Rhode Island, and I'm not dismissing that at all. All right, I want to make that very clear. There are people, and I'm not going to name names at all. There are several people I know from that university who were very seriously traumatized by other people at that university. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Anyway, not dismissing anything like that. I'm just saying, in my experience, the university didn't cause too many serious traumas, except for the one time a bunch of people almost ran me over. So that was a fun story. I was building cages late at night in the wintertime, right? And I'm ready to walk back to my dorm, and these people were driving a Jeep, right? Now, one of the things that you have to recognize, I am a person who lives with an eating disorder, and it can get really bad at points, and one of the symptoms of it for me is it causes a lot of my judgment to be a little bit hindered, where I'm a little bit less risk averse and I'm a little bit more impulsive, just that much more. That puts me at a serious danger to myself. There have been several times in my life where several months of chronic calorie restriction, and I'm not saying numbers, I promise, all right, but months upon months of extreme caloric restriction have led to me like walking around in my pajamas during blizzards. All right, I've done that. And things like what? Like just stupid shit like not treating wounds properly, right? And climbing on shit when there's a thunderstorm and like there's a roof that's made of fucking metal and you're like, I think I'm gonna climb this right now, and it's fucking thunderstorming. But who gives two fucking fucks, right? I don't. I clearly didn't because I don't fucking know. So when I have struggles with how many calories I put in my body, I get really uncomfortable with food quite a bit. It's a control thing for me. I do have some like underlying body image issues, I think, but they're quite like dull. I had a brief phase when I was a teenager where I was kind of like, oh my god, I'm so fat. But I was just being a little silly, a little rebellious, I think. I don't have too many horrible thoughts body image wise. I do have bad body image days sometimes, I admit. And I just try to laugh them off. Distracting myself the best ways I know how are usually how I do that. And I just kind of have fun. I try to have as much fun as fucking possible, right? And I'm like currently in a like really bad calorie restriction phase. I can't actually remember the last time I had solid food. Was it within the past 15 to 18 hours? I don't quite remember, actually. Now that I think of it, to be quite honest, I had tortilla chips at some point in the day. I had a few tortilla chips. Yeah, that's about it. And right for me right now, it's a combination of things. Like some of the underlying mental health problems that I deal with, including an eating disorder, are exacerbated by stress. All right. And this lovely fucking creature you're looking at here is very fucking stressed. All right. So, 1 minute. I'm Terry, and I used to be a smoker. Yes. So, fuck, nope. Yes. I wonder, my fucking second year of college, I was really struggling with a lot of shit. And my, like, RA was, like, the kindest person in the world. And I just, like, at some point, like, want to make sure that she knows that, like, it's because of her that I, like, was able to deal with so much that year. And I'm not naming names or anything like that. I hope she's doing well. I really do. Anyways. Yeah. So, what I was doing was, I was fuck. I don't know what all the noise upstairs is. It's kind of freaking me out. Anyway. The story arc is developing quite nicely, my loves. Right? So this is how ADHD brain works, by the way. Sometimes when I'm really like, I don't know, I'm having a sleep pattern change right now. It is fucking with me. But it's also making me more productive, which is helping a little bit, but not a lot. So basically, I needed vermiculite, which is kind of like sand. It's not quite like sand. I don't want to get to the nitty gritties of the difference between vermiculite and sand, right? But I needed vermiculite for some seeds. Some plant species don't respond well to being wrapped in moist paper towels, okay? A lot of the larger seeds, like oaks and the hickories and the walnut, you don't do that. You put them in something more substantial, in my humble opinion. My experience too. Stratifying oak in vermiculite or sand, stratifying anything really. Milkweed and a couple other things don't seem to give two shits either way. Um, Spirea and goldenrod, it's a matter of convenience. What I generally do with those two is I put the seeds in moist sand, but a tiny bit of moist sand, and then I spread thin layers over potting mix or peat perlite or whatever they want to be sown upon, um, for the germination process. The sand contains the seeds that have gone through the stratification process, right? It's better than plucking or rinsing the tiny ass seeds off of a paper towel or something like that. The seeds don't care either way, but you fucking do, okay? So, what I'm saying is super fucking tiny seeds of things like goldenrod and spirea, my loves, also do very well in fucking sand because you moisten the sand a bit, you throw the seed within that sand after you've imbibed the seed. You always imbibe your seed. All right. Now, I do the imbibition process with water because it also helps to leach out some of the natural germination inhibitors that will be in seed pod. Water is the quickest way to do it. While it may not technically be the most efficient, it just kind of helps kickstart that process a little bit more and ensure that all the seeds have enough water in them to start. All right. Um, Especially if numbers aren't on your side. Um, Germination percentages are higher when seeds are pre-soaked in water. Um, for various mechanistic reasons that we will not get into right now. Okay. Do I know all of these mechanistic reasons? It has a little bit to do with trigger pressure, all right. So water, I don't quite know actually. I can't quite think through it. My understanding of it is not sufficient right now. But it's okay. Um, Nature doesn't owe us an explanation, okay? Um, all right, give me a sec. All right, so now something that is fundamentally unsuiting me is I tend to be quite invested in minor things and random things, but I need some way of just expressing myself in subtle ways that don't really cause anybody too much stress because I I like people even though I hate humanity basically, right? um I'm a people person. I'm very like extroverted. I unfortunately, like it's not a choice because I get really stressed when I'm not around other people. Like I I can be clingy, and I'm trying to be better about that. But I'm quite extroverted, right? I really like the company of other people. And I really like to converse with other people. Isolation really fucking freaks me out. And like, I have a lot of really traumatic experiences related to isolation that I don't really want to get into right now, honestly. I want to be a little bit better right now about like just protecting myself. Like there are some times where I just can't say talk about certain things for just a little bit. Like right now, there are just certain things I'm not in a headspace to talk about. All right. So there are a lot of traumas, and I will write about them a lot more than I'll verbalize about them, if that makes sense. There's a lot of shit I will type out that I won't verbalize. There's like a mental block for me. I don't know how else to explain it. And I don't want to get so much into it right now. I do challenge those blocks every so often. I will admit that. However, I'm not in the headspace to do that right now. I'm trying to be kinder to myself, and by just kind of allowing myself to, like, I don't know, feel things without acting on feelings. That's helping right now. There's a lot going through my head, but just talking casually, thinking about whatever, having a silly show in the background, having a fucking fox to cuddle, it's helping. And then everybody's safe here, everybody's welcome here. It's fine. We're all here for each other. But anyway, and I'm sorry if anybody who knows me is like engaging here or there right now and doesn't necessarily get noticed. I am kind of just in my own headspace right now, as my typical, but it's a little bit more intense at the moment. My dog is the same way, and I relate to her hardcore. I really, really fucking miss my dog. If I'm being honest. What the fuck? God fucking damn it. Anywho, my dog's the best. We all love the ride. Oh, here's. I love my dog so much. I had a funny moment with her with the Aben Tessus. Oh boy. So, one of the things that irritates me is I choose to let dogs lick me, alright? And some people give me a hard time about it, alright? And, like, I assure you there's nothing creepy in my head when I allow a dog to lick me. It's just me being happy to be in the presence of a wonderful animal, right? And the dog is beautiful. It's adorable. I'm so excited. And oh my gosh, it is also like feeling some way about me being there, and it's great. We're just connecting. And dogs are amazing for that, right? So I let the dog lick me. I don't give two fucks. Obviously, if the dog is starting to like shove its tongue into my mouth or my nostril, I'm like, no, stop, dog. You can't be doing that. And I will at some point be like, okay, stop licking my face. But like, I will tolerate a bit more face licking than most people. And I just think it's adorable. I don't give two shits. It's the best. It's a puppy. I love dogs so much, right? You wouldn't understand if you're not a dog person, right? And, I like cats as well. I really do adore cats. I haven't had I had a good time with a cat a couple of days ago. I want to go back and see the kitty, actually. She was adorable. Actually, she was the best. Cats are awesome. The only thing is, I don't want to stress Riley out with a cat. Although Riley's generally good about my other animals, except for like caterpillars. Riley will eat caterpillars. She likes to eat caterpillars, which is a little concerning. I don't know if she would be harmed by the fucking plant phenolics in certain caterpillar, but whatever. You know what it is. I honestly don't think Riley's affected by grape. With dogs, the reason you don't give them grape is because some dogs can easily digest grape and be fine, whereas some dogs are like deathly allergic to grape, and there's really no way of knowing what your dog is going to be. So precautionary principle sort of thing, right? Well, Riley's eaten grapes and been fine. And obviously it's the dosage that makes the poison. But like we used to have a grapevine that she would just pluck the fucking things off of and eat them. And she was fine. Alright? And obviously you hear about the dog that eats chocolate and is fine. Well, the thing about Riley, she doesn't absorb shit very efficiently, right? And that's probably part of it. Fuck. I am a hot mess, folks, but that's okay. Now, it has occurred to me that, somebody might look at this and think that I'm like a little unprofessional, a little sloppy, whatever. And I'm like, I'm being a little vulnerable and like, we're all just people, and I've been through some horrific shit, and I'm just expressing myself. Well, I'm not hurting anybody. Nobody's being hurt. This is just peace and love and feelings. It's fine. Allow me to indulge myself for an hour a night. All right, life is short. We pay taxes and die. Let me have a little while. All right, I'm going to go get a job, and I'm going to go be productive and make money, and be great. But right now it's 1:30 in the morning. Just let me be, please. Bother me about shit. Be negative in 5 hours. All right, just give me 5 hours. I want a few hours of just me time. And I want to put it on YouTube Live because I think it's healthy sometimes to model for people that it's okay to be comfortable with ourselves by being vulnerable. All right? And I'm not a mental health professional by any means, but I'm trying to embrace healthier habits for myself. Maybe that will heal some of my issues. I'm not quite there yet, though. I've been like, I'm not, I don't want to share too much right now about all that, but it's okay. We are going to continue, keep on keeping on, right? And by keeping on, we just go on. So anyway, so I needed vermiculite, and I didn't know that you or I had a greenhouse that you could take a couple of bagfuls of vermiculite from without anybody really caring. All right, as long as you were a UI student, and you weren't taking heapfuls of stuff. They didn't really care if you borrowed a couple of pots, if you borrowed a couple of scoopfuls of soil for your 1 or 2 dorm plants. Now, obviously, my collection did kind of go a little beyond 1 or 2 dorm plants, to the point where I bought some fucking chicken wire, right? And rigged it up with fucking command strips, and then used it as a makeshift awning style shelf. I don't know how else to describe it. I put my plants on there, and it didn't hold up at all. It didn't fall right away. It didn't collapse right away. It collapsed about 5 hours later. It peeled off the wall 5 hours later, but I put my plants back in pots, and I think at this point I had like 6 orchids, maybe, and like, oh fuck, what else? My plant collection was quite modest at this point, I will admit, especially compared to what it looks like right now. You know, I've had a plant collection for a quite, you know, quite extensive portion of my life, which is very fun. I like to collect more propagals as I go. And so I have a nice collection of, you know, uh, whatever, it's fine. Anywho's, Anywho's, friends. Um, and obviously, like, y'all are free to vent in the comments below, like, or the chat if you come in while this is live, it's fine. But, so I needed vermiculite. I didn't know I could just get it from the fucking greenhouses. And I realized, oh, you know what? There is a fucking, ag way, 6 miles down the road. 6 miles is substantial, but it's 6 miles. East Farm is what, a mile and a half from URI campus, and I would a couple of times a month while at URI walk from campus to East Farm and back. It was a fun thing to do, especially if the weather was nice, right? Even sometimes just like moderately